So all the candidates of natural resource management MOOC course. Today we will be discussing about the tools that we actually use for different kind of decision making in case of natural resources management. And I believe that all of you are going through the videos time to time. So today in this live session, I just thought of sharing with you something about the different kind of tools that we probably could use time to time for better decision making in case of natural resource management. So, all of you might have all the lectures, videos till now, and I hope that by now you have understanding that how the natural resource management paradigm it actually works. Natural resource management cannot be done only with a technical motive. It has to be also sensitive towards the people. The reason behind is that by now I'm sure you have understanding that at the core of natural resource management, there is people. So the human part of this NRM is very, very important. And that's why before you take any kind of decision for a natural resource management, we need to understand the setting of a particular area, the ecosystem, and also the people. Now, if we understand these two things in a better way, then we can make a better informed decision. Now, there are various tools. I believe that in upcoming lectures, you will also see the the videos on participatory rural appraisal, rapid rural appraisal. Those are also various kind of tools. Apart from that, we have various kind of decision making tools, which some of the lectures will deal with MCDA. So what I trying to mean is that the decision making process for natural resource management is very, very important. Now, for any decision making process, you have, as I said, that stakeholders or the people, they are the key player, also ecosystem. Now, whenever we make a decision on the basis of the ecosystem and the people means people requirement, people need. Because remember that the need for people's sustainable livelihood and sustainable living will have to come from his surrounding. So the utilization of the natural resource from the ecosystem where people are living has to be critically studied. Now that is the important part of a decision making process. Now you see that in this particular paper, it has reviewed various tools and different kind of evaluation criteria has been applied to understand the capabilities or the capacities of these tools. So the first column, as you see here, they are the different type of tools that can be used for decision making processes in the case of natural resource management. Now, if you take the first one, the Bayesian belief network, which is BBN, it's a system dynamic model. What actually it can do? It simplifies our complex system through different variables and their relationships. So BBN network can be used for that. And what it cannot do, it captures all details and nuances. But if you capture all details and all nuances, certainly that they may create some problem in the process of your judgment. Now, what kind of methods that BBN tool probably will follow? It could go for individual or group setting, the last column. This usually require quantitative estimation of the relationships between different variables, say water, soil, plant, biodiversity, weather parameters, climatic variables, water, soil. So these all in interaction, especially the soil, plant, and then atmosphere, all the interrelationships and different variables, how they are interacting with each other, basically can be simplified through this tool. The second one is the discourse-based valuation. Discourse-based valuation. So here it develops a common representation of importance. On the basis of importance of a particular variable of an ecosystem, it represents that during your decision-making process. So it follows the methodology through group interactions. And here your interactions with people, community can be very critical for coming out with a better decision. Then next comes the 4R framework. This tool, it assesses the different stakeholder roles and also studies the resilience in the forest management. Remember that in one of the lecture by now, you must have seen that there are different resources, and forest resources is one of the most important natural resources that we have. So 4Rs framework helps in assessing the different stakeholder role for the forest management. And here the methodology that they use is that this framework carefully facilitate individual as well as group setting. Means a group of people or an individual's setting it represents. Means if you want to decide about the natural resource management for a particular person and a group of people, this framework would become helpful for you. Participatory mapping, another tool. Here, this tool represents spatial relationships. Okay. And we have also one videos on participatory rural appraisal, and there you will see that there are participatory mapping tool is one of the important tool that I have discussed there. So again, this also helps for individual and group setting methodology. It follows. Then next comes pebble distribution methods. Pebble distribution method. So here what it does, it encourages the examination of the different underlying reasons of various, variable that you choose and its different ranking or ratings. Because you know that in decision making process, we generally go for ranking. Means suppose you have 3 alternative decision, right? So which one you would opt for better management of resources? For that understanding or to finding that order, we go for, of course, multi-criteria decision analysis. But this also sometimes helps you to find out that why one is better than the other. Again, here also the methodology it follows individual and group to articulate an ideal future as a basis for planning and decision making. Okay. For developing a shared vision. Telling that in what it does that articulates an ideal future, okay, as a basis for planning or decision making. And in this case, it considers not only individual, but the entire community. Okay. Then comes another tool, which is known as alternative scenario tool. What it does, it imagines or describes several possible future outcomes. And those outcomes, some of them could be positive, some of them could be even negative outcomes. Okay, but these all will be based on current trends and different uncertainties. And in this case, also for alternative scenario tool, also it considers the entire community. Then comes spider diagram, which represents the causal and the categorical relationships again among various variables. And this also follows an individual and group setting. And this is useful most of the time when you try to evaluate or you try to develop a consensus among the community with regard to the uses of natural resources. In one of the lectures video, you will find that I have also discussed about, common property right, which is very, very important CPR as far as, natural resources is concerned. So in this case, you will find that dialogues, discussions with the stakeholders, with the end users is very, very important. As I said at the beginning of today's discussion, that natural resource management is such a field where technology is very much required, but only with technical mind frame, probably you would not be able to find out a sustainable solutions. The reason behind, as I said, that at the center of natural resource management, you are actually going to deal with people. Now, the another tool that can be helpful for your decision making is Venn diagram. All of you might be knowing about this. It generally depicts the social relationships and the power differences between different stakeholders. Say a one individual, and then a head of a self-help group, then a panchayat pradhan, probably the local MLA. So how these power differences among the stakeholder also can actually change the total discourse of natural resource management. Again, Venn diagram here, the methodology largely based on individual and group setting. Then comes WCM, we call it who counts metrics. This actually gives priority to the stakeholders, means the community whose well-being is very closely linked with the forest management, using all the dimension to assess its various valuation and links. So in WCM also it follows individual and group setting. So friends, what we see here from all these 8-9 tools for helping us to make a better informed decision making for natural resource management. Here we are talking about as an example the forest one. You see that in most of the cases that individual or group setting, group discussion, community discussion, these are the methodologies that most of the tools are following. So that's what is the one important message that we get from this particular paper. And also as I said, that if you want to apply some of these tools for a decision making process in your own area, so then you need to first find out the setup criteria. In your region, the what kind of natural resources that you are going to actually target or you are going to work for, the requirement of the community. So the relationship between that particular natural resource and the surrounding community will be the driving force behind the selection of the right tool for your decision making process. Okay, so it is not the fact that all the time all these tool will work. Some of the tools may work in a very good manner in some locations, and they may be totally helpless in another condition, in another setup. So that's why these all tools, you need to see that in which condition which one would work better. That call you have to actually take. And then once you decide this tool, and then you go for uh, you know studying the interactions between different stakeholder and different variables in that particular ecosystem, you will clearly understand that which particular variable or particular aspect should be your priority number one to manage the natural resources of a particular area. And this is a tricky business. Okay, this is not easy. There could be lot of individual and group interest which may go against the natural what you call requirement of the particular ecosystem. So you may find that what actually is good for that particular ecosystem probably is not something wanted by most of the people. So then it becomes actually quite confusing for an individual or a team who actually have gone to a place to understand and help the community for a better resource management. And that's why it is important that you first engage yourself with the community of a particular area. Try to understand the setup, the ecosystem. Try to get a feel that what kind of dynamics is happening. Again, I am telling you that you are actually going to deal with people. Okay, and it's not the case that in one area all 100 people will be thinking in the same way. So friends, that's why I would say that making a decision for a better natural resource management is tricky, but it can be done. We have several tools with us. So whichever actually will work in your particular working area, you should opt for that and go ahead with that and test in a particular area. It may be the case that in one particular tool, maybe in one attempt may not work, probably in the another attempt it might work. So it is important, for us, to see that how the dynamics in a particular locality is taking place. And that's why we need to give some time, some patience for natural resource management in a better manner. So, friends, with this, I just stop here today, and let me see that if any one of you have any query, in the YouTube or in MS Team. So yeah, till now don't find. Let me just say hi once again. So hmm. So NPTEL team, anybody is there? NPTEL team? Yes, actually, I just I just checked also YouTube. I don't find any chat there till now. So I think that we can call it a day for today then, because I have sent couple of messages also in YouTube. Till now, I don't see anyone in the MS team also. So it's okay. Maybe people are not available today. So in that case, should we close the session? Okay, so then you can close the session from your end, this live session. एक मैसेज कर देता हूं मैं. So here we close today's live session बोल के, है ना? हाँ, तो मैंने मैसेज कर दिया. ठीक है, ओके. सो मैं क्लोज कर रहा हूँ.